If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks in advance.
Pandora's Box. Curiosity that brought a whole heap of trouble to mankind. Has your curiosity ever got you into trouble? Have you ever been so desperate to know a secret that you took no notice of a warning? All through history, there are stories of people being told not to open doors, caskets, cupboards, gates, and all sorts of other things. And in so many of the stories, the people just did not listen. One person who did not listen was Pandora. Her story comes from ancient Greece, and her curiosity brought a whole heap of trouble to mankind. In ancient Greece, there were two brothers named Epimetheus and Prometheus. They upset the gods and annoyed the most powerful of all gods, Zeus in particular. For example, Prometheus was the one who stole fire from the gods and offered it to mankind. Zeus came up with a very cunning plan to punish them. He created a woman from clay, and every god contributed something to perfect her. The goddess Athena breathed life into the clay. Aphrodite gave her beauty, and Hermes taught her how to be both charming and deceitful. Zeus called her Pandora and sent her as a gift to Epimetheus. His brother Prometheus had warned him not to accept any gifts from the gods. But Epimetheus was completely charmed by the woman, and thought Pandora was so beautiful that she could never cause any harm. So he agreed to marry her. Zeus, pleased that his trap was working, gave Pandora a wedding gift of a beautiful box. There was one very, very important condition, however, that she must never open the box. Pandora was very curious about the contents of the box, but she had promised that she would never open it. However, Pandora became obsessed with the box. All she could think about was, what could be in the box? It seemed to make no sense at all to her, and she could think of nothing else but of opening the box and unlocking its secrets. Pandora became obsessed with the box. All she could think about was, what could be in the box? This was just what Zeus had planned. Finally, Pandora could stand it no longer. When Epimetheus was out of sight, she crept up to the box, took the key, fitted it carefully into the lock, and turned. She took a deep breath, closed her eyes, and slowly lifted the lid. She opened her eyes and looked into the box, expecting to see fine silk gowns or gold bracelets and necklaces or even piles of gold coins. But there was no gleam of gold or treasure. There were no shining bracelets and not one beautiful dress. The look of excitement on her face quickly turned to one of disappointment and then horror. For Zeus had packed the box full of all the terrible evils he could think of. Out of the box poured disease, poverty, sadness, and all the miseries of the world, all shaped like tiny buzzing moths. The creatures stung Pandora over and over again, and she slammed the lid shut. Epimetheus ran into the room to see why she was crying in pain. Pandora could still hear a voice calling to her from the box, pleading with her to be let out. Epimetheus stated that nothing inside the box could be worse than the horrors that had already been released, so they opened the lid once more. All that remained in the box was hope. It fluttered from the box like a beautiful dragonfly, touching the wounds created by the evil creatures and healing them. Even though Pandora had released pain and suffering upon the world, she had also allowed hope to follow them. This is why, even today, we have hope in the midst of miseries. It gave mankind the strength to face the troubles of the world.